This is built. This is a 30-liter, and it's built for heavy. It's not waterproof. That's what I have this shell for. In case I run into rain, you can put this over the entire thing. This is waterproof. This is waterproof. So I have a couple of different options. However, because Chicago is so flat, if you want resistance, you have to find hills. The shortest hills around here are Mont Hoy and Blackwell. There's another, there's the staircase in Palos Hills, which is only about 800 feet, I think. And that's not really training unless you go up and down, which is really boring. So I go flat, but I put in about 30 pounds to 40 pounds when I'm training. And the only problem with 30 to 40 pounds in a dry bag, so you have a dry bag like this?
Yeah. But so it's probably twice the size of that.
Oh, okay. That's okay. That's good. But dry bags usually aren't built for comfort.
Right. Yeah.
So there's no padding. This is going to be tight. This is thin, and it'll cut into the shoulders. If you put 20 pounds in this, that's the only problem. You keep it dry. I've taken this to Zion when it was raining. Kept it dry, and the pain is that you have to go, if you take something in and out, you got to go all the way at the bottom, take everything out and get it. So you have to really pack properly versus the compartmentals here. And if you look at the cushioning here, this is thick.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to be carrying 20 to 30 for, what, 7 hours, again, we're going to try to pretend a month before getting to Glacier that we can do a 7-hour hike with an incline. So 7 hours in the beginning, especially when the incline is there, are going to be full of water because you'll drink half of it by the time you get to summit. So this is going to be heavy, and it's going to be, so that's why I'd say pretending you're hunking around 40 pounds for 3 hours, it's going to cut into the shoulders. So this has to be comfortable. I love the waist strap. When you have adjustables, if you make this tight, you can put this on the hips. The hip padding is awesome. It's got some ventilation here so it doesn't hug the body, so after an hour it's not too hot. Then you can change or adjust some of the shoulders, or you can take the pressure off if it gets too heavy or painful. You can always readjust this point, the shoulder point or the pec point to change where the pressure is, the center of the gravity is. So right now if I pack this properly, the center of gravity would be right where my lumbar meets my thorax. If I don't like that, because after a while it's tiring, I'll loosen on the shoulders, tighten up on the pec, and then hike this up a little bit more, and now it's just resting on my hips instead of my shoulders carrying it. So I do that for about 30 minutes, and then I can change it. So it's nice because you can vary. That's what's nice about getting an expensive one. But again, you should try to shop around. If you go to REI, you can get fitted. They actually have sandbags if you want to give them the simulated weight, and they'll measure you up to make sure it's the right one. And I would just go there, measure up, see what you like about the fit. Sometimes you can get where it's built in like this, you have hard plastic, or you can get the external frames, the big old-fashioned European ones. I think they're a little heavier. Well, depending on the make, they could be a little heavier, but that's the way I would train. I checked out a couple of photographers online to find out what they did, because you'd have to reach back every time or take the whole thing off and reach for another lens. Yeah. I found this. These are called ribs. So now everything's in front. This is what I used when I was on the Tetons. I was going down the Tetons. I had my lenses here, had my protection here, had a couple other things all in front. So this is nice because you have everything accessible in the front. Then I can still put my backpack on top of this. But when I was going down one of the trails, as I was heading down, in the distance, I was by myself. In the distance, I saw two things coming this way up the trail. I had no choice. I couldn't go back up. It was too steep, so I had to keep on going down. Because there was reports of wolves and bears. So I kept on going closer, and it was two animals, and four-legged animals coming this way. I thought, oh, that's great. But I decided to go hop on a tree stump. And I was by myself, and I was just going to wait and see what happened. But when I hopped up on the tree stump, by the time they came here, it was two big dogs, and their owners were about a quarter mile behind them. Oh. They were big, and they looked like wolves from far away. Yeah. But anyway, I went on my way. They passed, and I went down another half hour or so. Then I saw an eagle, and I wanted to take a picture. I lost my lens, And I remembered, oh, I jumped up on that stump. I had to go trek uphill again, which made me all sweaty, and I found it was next to the stump. That was my one close encounter to what I thought were wolves.